And hang on, I just had my finger in the air like this. I'm going to keep that in. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Not Quite Nerds. On this week's show, we are going to catch up with Mallory and her Marvel Madness. And then we're going to do some conversations about the Hellfire Club that I can just see hovering right there. Because, of course, it's Stranger Things week.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. Mallory, tell us about your Marvel Madness. Again, I didn't do the Mallory's Marvel Madness because that would make sense after I said Mallory. But now I'm confused and I've said it anyway, so.
Say Mallory one more time.
I'm going to just start
Right,
doing,
so-
yo, how's the Mallory's Marvel Madness going?
I think that's a good. I think it's good. Hey, you.
Yeah. What's up, dog?
Don't say that. Wait, before we get into the Marvel, did you guys see what Kevin Smith posted today?
No.
I did not see what Kevin Smith posted today.
The owner of the Quick Stop died.
Oh,
No. Really?
Yeah.
We have to change the whole episode.
No.
It's so special. Stories about our trips to the Quick Stop. Somebody skiing downhill. We'll leave that.
I will never forgive you guys for going on a trip to the Quick Stop without me.
That was a great little road trip. It really was.
You know who you took instead of me, and that was wrong.
That was not
and
my
I understand
choice,
why you
by the
did
way.
it.
That was entirely
I
this
know it
gentleman
was.
right here.
I know. And I know why he did it.
Let's just throw it out there and say, I don't even think you were on the radar that summer.
We were friends.
You were too busy studying for some important exam.
Well, that's right. That was the
career.
year you're studying for the bar. That's right.
Was it?
It might have been.
Did you guys go before or after 4th of July?
Didn't.
It might have been after. It might have been after.
No, it was that summer.
Okay, if you guys went after 4th of July, then fine.
I think it was after, because it was definitely like mid.
No,
camp.
do you know what? I'm wrong. It was the summer before.
No excuse.
It was the summer. There is no way Gemma would have let me go to the Quick Stop with Kool-Aid on a road trip.
No.
So it was definitely the summer before.
Wow. Okay. So even more.
Even more. So she's even more offended.
I deserve it. I'll take it. Make it 2. I might even enjoy it. Anyway. Okay. Mallory's Marvel Madness.
Well, okay, just so
I
you
can
know,
say it now.
All right. So just so you guys know, definitely take a look at his Instagram post. But it was just such an interesting thing because what's his name? Mr. Thapar, who owns the Quick Stop. Like, it's just such a series of events that led to him owning it, which then obviously led to him hiring Kevin, which then led to Clerks. And it's just like, you know, these like little things that fall into place. Like if he never left India, we never.
So the original, so the owner of when Kevin worked there is the one that still owned it to this day up until because that was going to be my next question. I didn't realize that he kept the business that entire time. I mean, and he must have loved Kevin because he definitely made a fortune from, you know, idiots like us who would travel all the way to Red Bank, New Jersey, just to say that we went to a convenience store.
I mean,
there's a possibility if this man never left India, we wouldn't all be really close friends right now.
That's a whole, like, how many degrees from Kevin Bacon, or in this case, Kevin Smith. You know.
So what you're saying is the reason that we're all sitting here right now recording this podcast and people are out there being tortured into listening to it is because a guy left India and opened a convenience store in New Jersey.
I mean, an argument could be made.
Bought it from Cumberland Farms.
There you go. Bought a convenience store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That is crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that crazy?
I will definitely check out the post.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to bring it up.
All right. Well done. What a total downer on the episode to start it.
I know. My condolences to the owner of the Quick Stop's family, who I don't know his name. Mallory said it, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it again.
That's fair. Well, we can continue this downward spiral because the first thing I watched was the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4.
Oh,
Now,
oh
remind
no,
me.
there's more. I've just
This
looked at the
is
list. Right, I was like, is that the end? Because that would be a happy moment. Nope.
no.
No, there's 3
There's
more
three more
seasons.
seasons, sir. Yeah.
3.
So is
So
this
season,
is this now you've gone past the Ghost Rider portion of the season?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So
So,
it's season 4, episodes 9 through
so it
22.
peaked, and then it just went straight off a cliff.
It dived real
Yeah.
hard. Dove,
Dive,
Dove,
dove,
dived.
dove. Definitely
dive.
dove.
It cracked.
It hit the water. It was like, a failed belly flop, really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, horrible. So, end of season 4 is the LMDs.
Life model decoys. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So it starts off with May is actually an LMD. They don't realize it because what's his name? John Hannah, the guy from
The mummy.
The
Yeah.
Mummy.
Who's
Yeah.
brilliant in
He is
it.
like
You got to give
so
him
good.
because he, I think, is great in the role, and I think he's just great in general. But he didn't have a lot to work with that season.
No. And he created this robot named, or android or LMD, whatever, named Ada. She read the Darkhold when Ghost Rider was still there, and because she read the Darkhold, she now wants to essentially feel things. So she created the framework, which is essentially like a real life Sims, and put all the agents in it other than Daisy and Gemma, and they have to go into the framework to save everybody. And of course, Ada and Fitz had fallen in love because, like, if and all she did was she changed one like mistake they all like regret they all had, and for some reason, by changing one regret, Hydra had won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
we've just discussed how one guy moving from India
It's true.
led to us recording this podcast. So I mean, one tiny little thing in the world.
that's true.
But Fitz becomes the Doctor, who's like this
Yeah.
super evil genius, like second in command at Hydra, which is so not Fitz's personality that even if something crazy, I just don't see it. But
No, well, so they explain it. So when he was growing up, his father
yeah,
left because he never could live up to his father, and his father left and abandoned him. The regret was his father leaving, and his father was a piece of shit. So basically, in order to impress his father, he had to do more and more cruel things, and he didn't have Gemma kind of anchoring him. And he had said previously that Gemma was his only friend in school. He had difficulty like connecting with people. So if you have a bad influence, a not nice person who you're trying to impress, you have no like good moral people around you. I could see Fitz going bad.
yeah, because I guess he didn't have Gemma to kind of help him out a little bit, or because she dies at one point. Because isn't when
She does.
yeah, she's dead. Because isn't like when
Yeah.
Gemma gets put into the framework, she pretty much becomes like a zombie Gemma. Like,
She basically crawled out
oh,
of a
the other
mass
mass
grave.
grave.
Killed the cat.
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah, but bro,
And just so we're clear, this was all an idea that basically is how Nick Fury survives multiple deaths in the Marvel comic books by having life model decoys. Like
Of
that's where
course.
this whole thing stemmed from, and they've created this whole Star Trek vision board. Like what's the level called in Star Trek that they go to, where they go to the VR room basically, and that all comes out of the fact that one time, 10 times, Nick Fury died, and we brought him back because we had life model decoys.
yeah.
Well, what I found funny about like this whole arc was that they hated Inhumans. Like they were hunting Inhumans, they were like torturing Inhumans. But we had learned last season that the Hydra was an Inhuman. So how can like your dude be Inhuman and you guys are like, nah,
I mean, we see it in X-Men an awful lot. Is it not just a
well,
reflection of society?
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't like
You
it.
know, the closeted gay man who's hunting down gay people and hanging them from trees in the 1940s. Like, I mean,
It's yeah.
there. So, I just had a massive, amazing thought there, and I was like, "You're not doing any of the animated stuff, right?" I mean, we should have just said do the animated stuff and leave out Agents of Shield.
I mean,
There's so much more animated
there is a
stuff.
lot
But
more
it's so much
animated.
better.
It is, but
Like by the time you get to this point, the animated stuff is way better than even the worst
I know.
animated stuff is better than this level of Agents of
And, like,
Shield.
I was fine with it. Like I've been saying for weeks now that like it's been fine. It's been fine. Like sometimes I think the seasons are a little too long. They're not super memorable. But I just could not get behind the LMDR.
I was going to say the 20 episodes. The issue there is network TV insisting on things being 20 episodes.
Yeah.
20 plus episodes, 24 or
It's
22.
like 22 or 24 episodes,
Yeah.
I think.
Um,
They could have done with being a 12 to 16 episode show.
but they didn't do that then. This is what you got to think
No.
about. And it sounds crazy because
No,
we're
it's
saying
so
then,
true.
like it was a long time ago, and we're talking 10 years ago. But remember, the networks were so set on their every season
22
has to be
episodes.
22 because we have to fit it into this window, and then we're going to have this awards season, then we're going to have this window, and it was all that. And whereas streaming's changed all of that.
Yeah, I
You
think Agents of Shield probably could have benefited from a Disney Plus if it was on at the time.
Yeah.
Like I think if you would have if they would have waited for Agents of Shield, or if Disney Plus had come out earlier or something along those lines, I feel like it could have benefited from, or even Netflix taking a crack at it. You know, could have benefited from having like that 10 to 13
Like,
or 10 to 14 episode season. You know,
you could have made a whole arc then out of the Ghost Rider thing, a whole season.
yeah,
8 episodes, 10 episodes, and it would have just been
and it would have been
Ghost
just
Rider.
great.
Brilliant, tied
You know,
in,
yeah.
fantastic. And clearly, what happened? We know that with Agents of Shield, they blew a load of the budget early on Ghost Rider, and they couldn't afford bringing him back, and that was the whole thing. We've talked about it already, so maybe that's why we got such a poor season after that, because they were scrambling around. And
Because
they were
I
like,
don't
okay,
think
we
season
have,
5's as bad.
yeah. I mean,
don't think so.
My
They're
whole
in
thoughts
space.
is episodes 9 to 22. Somebody's gone. So guys, we've got £50 left, and we've got 13 episodes to make. What are we going to do? There's a production meeting where they're like, we have no budget. We need to do everything that we can do on this lot. So find a spare room. We're going to find a way to write a story that takes place in that, and it becomes that panic almost. But you survived it, Mallory.
You did. You survived it to get to what is
It's a good run.
another good movie. Not great. Definitely not as good as the
Well, hold on.
first.
Before I talk about the
Okay.
movie, I just want to finish talking about Agents of
Yeah.
Shield because I have 3 seasons left. The next season they're in space, and Ghost Rider did make a appearance in the season finale, which was good. But I have no recollection what happened to the Darkhold, and I think this is going to be the first time. I also forgot the Darkhold even existed in Agents of Shield. But unless I'm mistaken, I think this is now the first time that there's been something that's been in both Agents of Shield and later in the MCU.
You're right, because the Darkhold obviously
So
is in WandaVision and Agatha. You know,
right.
so
I'm curious to see if there's even like a nod to how it could have changed hands.
not that I can recall.
Right, it might be something that we just like missed because we
not
weren't
that I
paying
can
attention.
recall.
They also might have ignored it, so we'll see.
My personal, going back through my memory, is I think it's completely ignored the whole having it been the Agents of Shield, because if even though Wanda didn't know Phil Coulson, all he would have heard stories about Phil from Tony or from Cap or whatever, and I feel like they would have had to discuss it. I think that Disney Plus and the MCU just completely ignored anything that Agents of Shield did. And
I mean, where did we? Was it not after Civil War where effectively it just detoured? It did not even Civil War. It was Captain America 2. It was after Hydra had sort of taken over everything. Shield suddenly almost deviates. That's where Kevin Feige's like, this is not part of the MCU. It's never going to be part of the MCU. This is a TV show that ABC and Disney have put together. We are going off in this direction.
Right, but it could be something like as like an offhand comment of like Agatha saying like, I thought that it was like in this like shield building, like something that we would not have picked up on the first
Yeah.
time because they could have, or they could just ignore it. And again, it doesn't even have to be something continuous.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you're right. It
I'm
could
just
be.
interested.
It could
I
be.
mean, and
Yeah.
ultimately, we don't know that in Secret Wars we're not going to get a Shield team. So, we're pulling all these
Yeah.
Oh,
universes together.
that would be
They
so great.
could just be this brief moment where we get Coulson and Daisy and a few of those guys just show up, and even if they get absolutely decimated really early on, or something happens that wipes
I
them
don't
out,
know. I don't know.
just that moment.
The cavalry, aka um, Melinda May, would not just get taken out like this. I don't care who she's going up against. She can go up
I
against
mean,
Thanos. She get a licking.
no, I still think she's taking on the big guys now. It's the big guys. She's in the big leagues, right?
Yeah,
She did okay in Double A.
fair
She
enough.
can't skip
Fair
Double A.
enough.
Okay, then we moved on to a sequel.
Yes.
Deadpool
Deadpool
2.
2.
And the second role of Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
Mhm. Although also I screwed this up. I don't remember if I put the Deadpools in, but I definitely screwed up the order.
why?
Hold on, stop.
Where was Deadpool
Because
1?
Deadpool 2 takes place after Logan, and I have this ages before Logan.
Uh,
Does it?
yeah, it does.
Yes, the movie starts off with Ryan Reynolds saying, "If Hugh Jackman can die, so can I."
Yeah,
So yeah, it does. Okay, so that's okay though.
that's okay.
Yeah, so there's a second where I was like, should I stop it and like put Logan on? But I didn't.
No.
Um, so no, I mean, I think I always miss Marina, that
Maria
whoever plays
Bonancana. Yeah.
yeah. I miss her. I think I want more of her in these movies. I know she didn't even have a big role in the first movie, but she had a much bigger role in the first movie than the second or the
Even she
third.
said that. She said
Um,
that she wanted a bigger role, and there was
yeah, I
a
love
little
her. I
bit of
love
contention
their.
with them. I
I
think.
mean, Brad Pitt wanted a bigger role in this movie.
True.
He didn't have time. They literally got him for as long as they could have him for.
He had, what was it, two
That
frames?
Two frames.
basically. That's one of my favorite scenes.
That is
Is
a
he
great
pulls
scene.
together X Force and then they all
Yeah.
die.
It was, I think Ryan Reynolds talks about with the studio. He was like, so I got Brad Pitt to be in it. And they're like, oh my God, you got Brad Pitt to be? He's like, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I talked to him and said, I bought him a coffee. He said he'd do it. And then they saw the scene and they were like, is that it? It's like, yeah, it works. It's good. It's good. It feels like one of those things where you're like, oh, we're shooting on soundstage A and he's shooting something on soundstage B. And he was on a break and they were like, let's bring him in.
Yeah, let's bring him in for a
Just
half
check him
hour,
in.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No. Okay, what did you think? What did you think of Deadpool 2?
I mean, such a good movie. It's so fun. It's so similar, but at the same time so different from the first Deadpool. Like the banter between like him and the kid, I love
Mm,
Yeah.
also. That kid's such a little
yeah.
shit. It's also the second time we've now seen Juggernaut, because Juggernaut was in the X-Men
Yeah.
movies.
Yes.
Obviously, a very different look. So now we have two different Juggernauts, but obviously they've kind of fixed that from.
Yeah, because we have
No, they
it's
haven't.
Vinnie Jones in the original X-Men
Yeah,
movies.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it is supposed to be the same universe as the original X-Men movies because he's in the same
Yeah.
universe as Logan.
Right.
So that's just then we just have two Juggernauts in the same universe. And to be fair, we also have two. What's his name? Colossus,
Yeah.
because he's also in the X-Men
Yeah.
movies. I love him in the Xavier mansion, scooting around in Charles's wheelchair, just
It's
being a
great.
little bitch. And then you actually see all the
I was gonna
X-Men
say
as close.
this is
That's
the
the
one where
best
First
scene.
Class make an appearance, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm always here, but we never see any of the other X-Men. Is it a budgetary thing? And then the door sort of closes behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
So good. It's just so. I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. And maybe it's just because like he wrote it, he loves the character is kind to him, or at least the persona he
that
shows
he
to the
puts
world.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the end when he shoots himself multiple times as Deadpool and as Ryan Reynolds.
There's a pretty good comic book where Bullseye and Deadpool are in this rivalry trying to take each other out as hitmen. And there's an amazing page of panels, and it starts off with Deadpool. Like Deadpool finishes him off and says, "Never ever come for me again. If you come for me again, I will kill you, and that will be the end of you," sort of thing. And then the last page is Deadpool sitting in a room eating pizza, watching TV, and each panel the pizza boxes stack higher and higher and higher and higher around him until eventually he puts a gun in his mouth and he's like, "I really thought you'd come for me," and shoots himself in the head. But it's that thing where he's like, "I know I'm going to heal anyway. It's fine, whatever." But it's just that I want to die and I can't. I've reached the point now where I'm annoyed because I can't die. Yeah.
Although he does almost die because he gets that like the power
inhibitor.
stopper. The power inhibitor, and the cancer comes back. It's kind of sad to watch.
Yeah.
I don't want to die and be that ugly.
How good is Domino though? Like
I love Domino.
I love this idea. He makes the joke like, "How do we show luck on screen?" Like, I'm just lucky. That's what I do. Like, it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
She's great. Love Zazie.
And then the secret hero of the whole series, Dopinder.
Oh, Dopinder.
I missed him in the third one.
Yeah.
Like, I love him.
He's in the third one.
So funny.
He's in the third one at the end.
Yeah. Is he not part of the party? Is he not in the party?
He's part of the party. Yeah.
That doesn't count.
No, but he's there.
Just because you're part of the party. No, I want like him trying to kill people. Like, I want that. I don't.
So,
in Deadpool 2, he's like wants to train to be an assassin.
Who, right? Would you prefer to see make an appearance in the next two Avengers movie? Dopinder, right? Or the what's his face, the guy from Ant-Man who does the recaps?
Oh. No,
The guy from
no
Ant-Man.
contest. No contest.
Or both together. I mean,
no, isn't his name Luis Garcia?
Yes. Yeah.
No. Is it?
No, it's Luis.
Are you guys just being racist?
No, it's Luis
Gutierrez. I feel like it's something.
Oh.
But my answer is him.
Or Dopinder driving him around while he tells.
I think
Dopinder
you just won. You won the
happening.
game. Dopinder's driving his cab with Michael.
His name is,
Michael
by the way,
Pena,
his name is just
and
Luis.
he's called Luis. Yeah, he's called Luis.
But his character's Luis.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was half right.
Just
I was half right.
Yeah.
Dopinder driving
so
Michael
good.
Pena around. That is, while Michael Pena explains, so guys, all this war is happening. Yeah, let me tell you what's going on.
What we need. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. All right, listen, I love the Deadpool movies.
And
it's not my favorite though. I mean, it's not my favorite.
Let's not lie. It's the least out of the three. It's the worst one.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
It's definitely the worst.
So I agree with you guys. I got into a fight about this the other day.
Okay.
Somebody's hot take was that 1 and 2 are infinitely better than 3.
Oh, okay. I mean,
why?
That's a wrong take.
That's not a hot take. I'm not talking to you for a significant period of time take. Like now, 1, I still think 1 is the best. As much as I love Deadpool Wolverine, I mean that is the team up that we've all wanted for a long time. They gave it to us. It was fantastic. I would take more of it, but Deadpool being a Deadpool movie, a little bit of origin story, a little bit of him doing his own thing and being wacky. Deadpool 1, big thumbs up. Wolverine and Logan, and that's close. Just because again, all of the nostalgia, all of the something that we've been wanting for a very, very long time. Hugh Jackman coming back into the role, us finally getting the yellow suit that we've wanted for over 20 years.
Yep.
We even got the Cavalry in there, Henry Cavill.
Yep.
I don't know. That movie was great, but 1 is still, I think, the best.
I mean,
One, I think, was just so different than like any other Marvel
So different.
movie or superhero movie that had come out.
It's more like Kick-Ass, or like one of like those kind of like offbeat superhero movies with a main
I'd go.
with a main character.
Deadpool 1 is a 9.
Yeah.
Right? Deadpool 3 is an 8. And Deadpool 2 is a 6.5.
Yeah, Deadpool 2, I would agree, is I'm not even sure if I'd give it a 6.5. I gave it a 6.
I think it's a good film. With lots of funny Deadpool moments.
Yeah.
So, but the film itself, so it's a good film, but there's problems within it. There's whole story arc problems within it that I don't like, and I think it's a bit of a mess. It seems it's a bit Iron Man 2. That's the easiest way to describe it. It's a little bit Iron Man 2. That's how I feel.
And I think some of that had to do with Ryan Reynolds and I think it's Stephen Miller's feud. Because they apparently, from what I've read, argued through most of the filming of Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Or TJ Miller, not Stephen Miller.
TJ Miller.
Miller. Yeah. I think him and Ryan Reynolds.
TJ Miller was at the back end of this. TJ Miller, the stuff came out about TJ Miller, didn't it?
Yeah.
So there was issues.
I also don't think the story was just necessary. Like, it didn't propel anything forward.
No.
It was
Deadpool 1 is kind of an origin.
It was just a vehicle.
Sorry?
It was just a vehicle to get another Deadpool movie out there. It was
right.
Like, whereas Wolverine is, that's bringing him into the Marvel universe. That's the whole point of that film. Is bringing Deadpool under that Disney umbrella. So
that was a vehicle, but also with a purpose and a story that I actually was succinct from start to finish, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Deadpool 2 could be a standalone film because it really does not have any connections to anything.
No, not really.
No.
All right. I agree with Matt. I'm giving this a 6.5.
Okay.
There it is. And then after that, we have somewhat of a masterpiece in my mind, but I'm not going to bias you with my opinion until you speak. So what did you think of Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, so good. So I forgot. I don't remember the last time I saw Spider-Man Homecoming.
So
I've seen Spider-Man Far From Home multiple times.
Yeah.
I've only seen the third one once because my heart couldn't take it again yet. But
Mallory cry?
Well, I might try to convince Steph to reignite an old tradition, even though we couldn't do it like we used to, but having a Marvel-ous Christmas.
Way to do it.
But
the way to do it.
We there's too many now to do a Marvel-ous Christmas. What we used to do, Max, we can't do anymore.
My argument to that would be you go with the hardcore MCU films, and I will put together a list for you, but between Christmas and New Year.
I think that's reasonable.
I mean, you'd be talking 3 films a day still, which kind of amounts to about 9 hours a day. But I mean, if you're willing to sit and watch, I was going to say, if you're willing to sit and watch Lord of the Rings, right? the extended, even more boring versions, then hey, it's time to watch the MCU films.
There's going to be a time when we're going to have an argument about this on the podcast, but it's not going to be today because we have other things to talk about.
I can tell you how that argument's going to go. You're going to try and argue that it's good, and I'm going to go pretty much like
me and millions of other fans can't be that wrong. Just saying. I mean, anyway, Homecoming. Mallory, what were your thoughts?
Tangent. Drink.
I do think this is the most annoying Peter Parker.
Okay.
Like Spider-Man Homecoming specifically.
Okay, now are we talking about all the Peters or just Tom Holland Peter?
No, I'm going to go with all the Peters.
So you're going to think that he's more annoying than Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire?
Yes, but let me explain why. Because, remember, this is post-Civil War. He now but again, he's also playing a 15-year-old boy. So maybe I find him annoying because he's supposed to be a 15-year-old boy. And I think this is a 15-year-old boy mentality where in his mind, he's an Avenger now. And there's going to be a new Avenger campus and he's going to have to drop out of school, even though Happy's been ignoring every single one of his texts and his phone calls. And he drops out of band to go patrol the streets when nobody wants him to. And he almost drops out of the mathletes or whatever that is because he needs to patrol the streets. And he's like taking on all these roles that like literally nobody is asking you to do. And it's not like the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man where he's doing it because he had been Spider-Man before he dropped out of all these things. And he only dropped out because in his mind, he's now an Avenger. And I just found that obnoxious. And then he would be told what to do and he would like not do it. And again, I know it's because he's a 15-year-old boy and they don't like listening to the rules, but like, shut up and do what you're supposed to be doing.
I mean, you summed it up there, though. He is a 15-year-old boy.
He's a 15-year-old boy, but who just got I mean, he's a 15-year-old boy who got literally tapped by his idol and a billionaire playboy philanthropist to then take him to like Germany to go and kick Captain America's ass. And then you're going to say, stay in school, kid. Like, and leave him alone. Like, of course he's going to be annoying. He's going to want to do things. He's going to not follow.
I find him annoying.
It's a replication.
I just think he's the most annoying.
It's a replication of a child star, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody being plucked. It's the entire cast of Stranger Things, right? Being plucked out of nowhere, being given all of this, and then being judged for them being maybe a little bit aloof, maybe thinking a bit more of themselves than they should. You know, it's that whole cycle. But it's also him finding his place, which is metaphorical in as much as he's a 15-year-old physically finding his place, as well as a superhero finding his place. But I get exactly what you mean. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. He definitely is the most annoying of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I will still say that Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3 is the worst Spider-Man we've ever had.
But are you saying Tobey Maguire when he's Venom is the most annoying? Because then he's Venom, he's not
But
Tobey
he's
Maguire.
not Venom, really. He's like
Still Peter Parker.
Venom. He's not. He's still Peter Parker. It just Venom, the symbiote, is attached to the suit, and when he's wearing the suit, he's all like moody and emo, like he's trying to be like that dude from My Chemical Romance. Like, no, like just
still dances down the street as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he's Peter Parker, like with the symbiote. Like, I just don't think he's truly Peter Parker in that.
I don't know. He's like possessed or like got like the flu or something. I don't know. There's something wrong with him.
And he's possessed, and he's not Peter
Yeah,
Parker.
but he's still annoying shit. Like,
he could be annoying, but he's not Peter Parker.
Whatever. Okay. All right.
So anyway, Batman shows up.
Yeah. So you were saying there about Peter Parker and being a little bit annoying and people not wanting things. I stumbled upon a Batman sketch from Saturday Night Live. I don't know whether it was from a recent one or an older one, but it's hilarious because it's Bruce Wayne talking to people and it's a Thanksgiving dinner and they've all come in, but they're all from the ghetto and he's feeding them. And they're all like, thanks so much. And he's just like, yeah. And then they start talking about Batman and they're like, one of them's like, yeah, he beat me up and hung me upside down. And then another one's like, yeah, he beat me up and hung me upside down. And then it becomes this underlying feeling that they all really dislike Batman because he just keeps coming in, crashing his plane, smashing his cars up, breaking people's houses, saving Gotham. And it's that. And that's very much Peter Parker in this. Nobody wants him. Nobody knows to miss him because he hasn't existed yet. He's trying to find his place. But it does launch a fantastic series of films. I was going to say trilogy, but we know obviously there's more coming.
There's more coming. There's another trilogy, right? He signed on for another 3, independent.
I'm fully confused as to what the rights are for all of these because they weren't even going to make 3, and then he made that Disney movie with Chris Pratt, the one about D&D. Which isn't about D&D, but is about D&D. So it's about a fantasy world. And
Him
and Chris Pratt play brothers in it. But they walked on stage for it, and basically at that point, Disney and Sony had stopped talking. They went on stage at D23, and the crowd went absolutely nuts for him, and they were chanting Spider-Man and stuff. And he walked off stage, and he says to Bob Iger, "Did you hear that? Like, we need to do something about this." And Iger's like, "Yeah, we do." And he went back to Sony and they negotiated different deals. But it changes every movie. That's where the trouble comes in, is it changes every movie. And we know that Sony are trying to build their own Spider-Verse and they're trying to do their own thing really well. I think they've done some fantastic movies about random characters in the Spider-Verse.
They've done great Spider-Man films, and that is it.
Venom.
I know Venom.
I've still not seen Venom 3, but I'd seen a thing the other day where somebody had said it's really good. It's better than Venom 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
And I've not seen it because I thought Venom 2 was it.
I've seen the first Venom. I didn't see the second one. I haven't seen the third either.
Okay. But yes, ultimately, are we getting another trilogy? Who knows? Where are we going to go with
We
this?
know we're getting Spider-Man 4. That's about what we definitely know.
And Spider-Man will return in Avengers,
Doomsday, and Secret Wars.
Yeah. So, yeah. We're making the assumption there about Secret War. Maybe he dies in Doomsday.
No,
Boom.
they're not going to kill
Problem
him.
solved.
Well, to be fair, they've only announced who's coming up in Doomsday.
That's
so.
true. They have not announced Secret Wars.
Yeah. Okay. So, that takes you up to date. Next on the list is Venom.
Yep, it is.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. There you go.
Next
So that
is
next on the
Venom,
list.
followed by
Tonight.
arguably the best Thor.
Oh, it's the best.
It's definitely
Thor.
the best Thor.
It's also my top 3 Marvel movie.
So I'll save this for next week, but I've got opinions and thoughts on Ragnarok.
Okay. Tune in next week. Audience.
I tell you what, no. Let me throw it out there, and I'll throw this. And when you watch it, you can think about this. Thor Ragnarok is fantastic the first time round. It is great the second time round, and the third time round it's good. But every time you watch it, it loses that shine because what you see is it is very much a Taika Waititi film, and it just has beat, and you actually realize that a lot of those beats don't enhance the story in any way. And once you take the humor out of it, it's actually not a great Thor film.
And that's how I feel about Love and Thunder.
There you go. And Love and Thunder is a
cancel my trip to Disney
off.
Paris.
Sorry?
So how do I cancel my trip to Disney Paris?
I mean, do you want to? They've just announced March 29th is when Frozen World opens.
Oh boy.
It's the whole new thing. But have you not seen the Olaf that they've got? They've got an animatronic Olaf that will be walking about. Like
scaring little French children.
Walking, talking animatronic Olaf.
This is the strangest vacation I've ever booked.
It's going to be even stranger. You know, you go to the catacombs after it. You'll be like, I don't know what. You're not going to do the catacombs in Paris?
Oh, the catacombs, yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to be like, I don't know what's scarier, Olaf or this.
I think it's Fester.
Yeah, Fester. Fester's like, I've not made my appearance properly this week. Here I go.
It's true.
And then, stop biting me. And then, Matt, are you watching the TV shows with me after I finish Ragnarok? Because then I get into that lump.
So I do want to watch. I've not watched Inhumans ever. I watched the first episode. That was as far as I got. So I do want to watch that. Yes, The Runaways, Cloak and Dagger. I watched the first season and enjoyed the first season when it came out. Felt like it had issues with budget, but it was a network show. So, it's going to have dodgy CGI. So yes, I will. We'll make our way through those together. Absolutely. I've still not finished Iron Fist season 1, but that's because we have been cramming as much as possible at Stranger Things. And on that note, perfect segue. Stranger Things. By the time this episode drops, that's if I wait until Thursday to drop it. I might drop it a day early. So, figure we get it out there.
Celebrating Thanksgiving, obviously.
Yeah, but for us in the UK, it's actually Thursday at 1 a.m. It comes out. For you guys, it's 8 p.m.
Right? Yeah, 8 p.m. EST. Yeah, Eastern Standard. Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Okay. So I might well drop this episode a little bit early. Leave that out there. But if I did, hey, treat. If I didn't, oh well, sorry. Yes, Stranger Things, season 5, the final season of Stranger Things. The running times are out. This season is shorter than season 4.
In hours and same episode count.
Same episode count, but in hours, this season is shorter. Each episode, I think, there's not one episode surpasses the 2 hours and 12 minutes of episode 9 of season 4.
Yeah.
So, but they were talking about possible cinematic releases.
Yeah, so the rumor that I saw was that the last episode, which is due to be released, I think, on or about New Year's Eve, will be getting a cinema release, potentially. And I think they were in conversations with a few different distributors, like AMC and Regal and a few others, for that. I didn't see anything about internationally, whether that was going to be a thing, I think, but if I see anything, we'll post.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's going to be one of those things, then go to the cinema and enjoy it. Like the social experience that comes with watching something in the cinema is always better.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can definitely enjoy as we move forward.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize it's going to be New Year's. I have to find out if I can watch
Is
it
that what you're
on
doing
New
right
Year's.
now?
No, I'm just trying to text who I'm going to be with, and instead of texting you two both.
Yeah, I'm like, duh. I'm like,
did you guys watch Stranger Things? Oh, do
So
you two?
we can confirm that famous last words. I've just brought it up there, and of course there's a paywall on that website. Episodes, 4 episodes drop
on Wednesday
this week.
/ Thursday for the UK.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then part 2 is released on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm. That's 3 episodes?
And that'll be 3 episodes. And then the final episode will air on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's
Right,
UK, though.
Away for Christmas
so it might well
anyways.
be the day before for you guys.
Yeah, because I think it's actually Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, I think, which is, I think, a little strange for them. Like, I didn't really see the rationale for them to do it, break it up in 3 pieces. I could see 2 if you really want to increase the drama or whatever, but like that final episode being on New Year's Eve, like, it's just kind of like, well,
Yeah.
I do like the final episode being alone. Like, I'd rather not like have like a bunch.
So do we think that's because by putting the final episode alone, they're going to allow, first of all, a week's worth of coverage, but also we're all going to experience that together.
It's true. I mean, that is definitely the reason why. It's because, everybody, we knew this all growing up. You had to wait for that finale episode of whatever show you're watching, because you were watching it every week. Whether it was Friends, whether it was How I Met Your Mother. The uproar when that last season came out. With Netflix, we can't do that because they release it all in one big chunk. So them doing it this way, it does make sense. I think it creates drama for them. I think it creates more marketing opportunities. I think it creates more for the cast and crew and the Duffer Brothers to build up, because apparently there's already a rumor of they are doing a 1984 or 1985 a animated show of what happened in between seasons 2 and 3.
Nice.
By the way, none of the original cast are reprising their roles to voice. They have brand new actors doing that because, again, they're all older now anyway, so they're going to sound different.
All of their balls dropped.
And there's already talk of additional spinoffs, so I think that's what they're going to be.
I mean, some of the characters have come out, or some of the actors have come out and said that they'd be interested in coming back and reprising their roles.
I mean, I could totally see them doing like
a 90s version.
I could totally see them doing that with, like, the D&D party in 11, like being like early 90s in university, and something happens, and they get dragged back into the Upside Down and have to go fight the stuff in Hawkins again.
Okay, so we've talked around it.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to happen? What do we love about it? Moving, working our way through it. I've been watching it. We know that Barb isn't coming back. The actress has come out and said she's not been invited back. So sorry, guys, those who walked around Comic-Con all those years ago.
Justice for Barb is not going to happen, guys.
It's not happening.
So I saw it. It's on a rumor. It's on a thing, but like people are guessing. I'm seeing people's guesses. And I hadn't thought about this, and it's stressing me out if it's true. And like, obviously, again, it's not a rumor. It's just what people are thinking. I just don't want it to happen. That Steve's going to die. But what I've been watching are people like pretending to be like the last words of Steve. Like, and which are funny and endearing and probably accurate, but I also don't want Steve to die.
So the last words of Steve, should Steve die, the last words will be, "How did I end up babysitting the kids again?"
Yeah.
Like that is his thing. So going to Steve, what a fantastic character to start off with, right?
Great character.
We spoke about it very briefly on a podcast a few weeks back. Steve's evolution starts when, in that first season, after he has his beating, right? And then he realizes, maybe I'm in the wrong. And even before that, you start to see him doubt what he's doing and realize that he's playing
downing it throughout the show.
Yeah.
And Nancy, his relationship with Nancy is making him realize that he doesn't have to be a dick.
Yeah.
You know.
But what an amazing character arc he goes on.
Phenomenal.
He becomes so likable as somebody that goes through it. But then that becomes something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I think even Billy, who you don't like right the way up until that point, and then you like Billy.
I mean, I don't know if you ever see. I disagree. I don't know if you ever like Billy. I think you understand Billy, and I think you really start to understand him in season 2.
But I mean,
he's such a little cutie.
Billy, you mean you're one of the? At this point, you'd be one of the mums sitting on the side of the pool, waiting for him to change over shift so you can see him come out without a shirt on.
Should be Karen.
Yeah, but at least I'm age appropriate.
I mean, you wouldn't be. You would actually be the same age as some of the mums.
That's so
Tangent. So everybody take a drink at this point. Gemma said something to me today. She said, if you were born after 1991, you are now the same age or older than Marv was in Home Alone 1.
Oh. Really?
Yep. Apparently.
Wow. That
Gemma's dead to me.
Gemma might be dead to me. Damn. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I really liked the Steve turning point, but I think I disagree. I think you like Billy when he becomes a brother, when he steps in there with the mind flayer and takes it from Max. I mean, you see that moment where he stands up.
Right, and that's season. Yeah, I mean that's season 3. That's when he steps up, and
that's the only time you like him.
Yeah,
it's just the briefest moment. It's his redemption arc. Is that? It's just really quick, and then it's like, oh, sorry.
It's his redemption arc takes place over the course of about 5 seconds on camera, whereas Steve's takes half a season, and then And
I mean, I think we already know the answer to all of this. I think they've given us the answer multiple times. So in the first episode, Mike takes not Mike. Is it Mike? Mike takes Dustin takes X-Men 134. Chooses X-Men 134. Race you, I'll take that. What happens in X-Men 134? It's the one where the Hellfire Club, of all things, break Elle's mind, not Elle's mind, the Phoenix's mind, and turn her into the Dark Phoenix. At the end of that, she disintegrates the leader of the Hellfire Club, pins him to a wall and disintegrates him. So in season 1, they literally give us that in the first episode, and the last episode ends with
is 11 doing that to the Demogorgon.
Yep. But breaking, she also reaches that point where she breaks. Until that point, she's tried to be nice, and she goes on what is effectively a killing spree at that point.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, she did. I mean, and 11 does go on a killing spree. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
So I mean, is she the Dark Phoenix? Is she? Well, we know that she's the one that's opened the door. She's the one that's responsible for opening the door. The door that the Upside Down might have been there for a long time, as Dustin alludes to. It might have been there since the time of the dinosaurs. Which Steve responds like, "Oh my god, not my dinosaurs!" Why here we go?
I love Joe Keery.
He's great.
Like I'm so glad that the Duffer Brothers loved him enough to not kill off
because they were going to kill him off. Yeah, that's what they've said.
The Duffer Brothers also have said that it is not Vecna in episode 1.
No,
they said they had no idea who Vecna was yet. They knew the Demogorgons were going to have somebody else.
The Demogorgon can't do telepathy. They can't do it.
But they said that the idea of Vecna didn't.
So I was going to say, but they've also said the Demogorgon didn't open the door because the Demogorgon's not telepathic. So somebody was telepathic to open the door of the shed. So this is the other question then: is the Mind Flayer in charge, or is Vecna in charge?
Well, I mean, you see in season 4, there is an episode, I forget which one it is, when you're learning all about Creel and his time in the Upside Down. And he takes this swirling black shadow, dust, and turns it into the Mind Flayer. But it's like a spider. But whether or not it was already the Mind Flayer and he just gave it form, or if he's the one actually controlling the Mind Flayer, that I do not know. In D&D, it would be different.
Yeah, and I mean, so I think they've said in an interview this week that the Mind Flayer and Vecna are apathetic towards each other.
Yeah.
But there's this idea that they both know the other exists, but they're not necessarily working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
So there's this idea that's floating around there as well.
I almost because I used to have the monster book of monsters from D&D. I don't have it anymore. I just have the player's handbook, and they didn't have any of the monsters in it because that's really for dungeon masters, of which I am not. I was only a player. But I want to go back and look because obviously in their playing in back then, I think they're playing like second edition or maybe 3.5. Because I think second edition came out sometime in the 80s, and that's probably what they were playing. Because they use different type of stat boards, like when their kids are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and even when they're playing with the Hellfire Club. The original versions of D&D, the players didn't even roll. Everything was rolled by the Dungeon Master. So they're definitely playing, I think, 3.5 because they're rolling. I don't know the whole history of D&D. I've only started playing with 5th edition, which I have my fancy D20 right here.
No, look. It's big. It's like you're trying to make up for something.
I have others too. I have a lot of dice actually.
I meant bad eyesight, Mallory. What were you thinking about?
This is a fancy dice holder.
Nice.
His height.
You meant what?
His height.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
That's also true.
Well saved. Well saved. Who's gonna die then?
Do you want to just go around it? So do you want? Let's just go around. So Max, do you want to go last? Or you want to go first?
I want to hear what you're thinking. That's what I want to hear.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, there's reasons.
I think it's going to be Steve. I think Steve makes sense, and I hate it.
I don't think Steve. I think Steve's going to live. Are we just picking one person? Because I think multiple people are going to die.
No, I also think multiple people. I think Steve, and it's stressing me out.
I think that Jonathan is going to die. I think Jonathan is going to try to sacrifice himself to protect Will, and I think he's going to get taken out. Because I think Jonathan feels guilty about being a stoner for a year, and I think he's going to try to step up and be there for his little brother, and he's going to get dead.
That's why I think Steve's going to die. I think Jonathan might try to make the sacrifice, and Steve's going to be like, no, just make sure you spend the rest of your life looking after Nancy. Treat her right. Dusty, love you, bro. Yeah. And then he's going to
see. That's where I don't think it, because I think Jonathan makes a sacrifice play, and then Nancy ends up where she should have ended up with, which is with Steve.
No, she should not have been with Steve.
She absolutely should be with Steve. Steve is a gentleman. He is not a scholar by any stretch, but he becomes a gentleman. He changed because of her, and everything that he's done to this point has been trying to protect her and trying to be the man that she wanted him to be. And I think that whole scene with them in the RV talking like, I could see, me and a bunch of Harringtons, 5 or 6 of them little rugrats in the back. I've got some experience now, but I didn't tell you, but the person sitting next to me is you. I think is going to happen. And Jonathan and Nancy and the season 4, they're not quite, on the same page. Just saying.
I'm with Luch here. I think season 4, you see Steve continues his redemption arc, and Nancy realizes that Steve might be the better fit for him.
And being an awesome friend to Robin, who then also becomes friends with Nancy, which is cool. I don't know. I see that happening. And I think if Jonathan gets killed and is out of the way, there'll be no guilt for Nancy. I mean, she'll wait a reasonable amount of time, of course. But I think
that's such a boy mentality that you guys this girl dumped me because I was a piece of shit. But now that I'm gonna put the work in, she's just gonna take me back.
But he hasn't pushed it though. That's
doesn't matter.
He hasn't pushed it. He hasn't been inappropriate. He hasn't done anything. He's just trying to be a good dude.
Bro, let's just throw it out there. This is an 80s set thing.
Yeah.
right? And it referenced millions of 80s content, loads of 80s stuff, right? And in the 80s, Charlie Sheen, who was often the jock, the cool kid in the school and whatever, always went on his redemption arc and always found his true love.
Yep.
Oh, this is why girls have been ruined for years.
Okay.
The bad boy is just going to fix himself.
Mallory, who's dying?
And then fall in
Who's dying, Mal? Who's dying? Or did you say Steve?
Besides Steve, I think one of the boys are going to die. I don't think we're getting out with all 4 boys. And I think it's going to be Will.
Yeah.
Which then defeats the whole purpose of the play by Jonathan. Jonathan's like, no, I'll sacrifice myself. Oh no, Will's dead. Cool. You go, Steve.
I don't think it's Will. I agree with you that I think one of the 4 boys is going to die, but I don't think it's Will, because I think Will is the new number. He's number 12. That's who I think. I think Will has.
We've already got 12 though. 12's already happened. 12's already happened.
12's happened?
If you go back, season 3, if you go back, there's a door with 13 on it.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so but he's
it's where Elle. It's where they think it's where Elle first sends Vecna back.
Okay,
and it shows the doctor. What's his face? Creepy
Brenner.
Doctor Matthew Modine. Yeah. And he's walking. He walks past the door with 13 that has a smeared bloody hand on it. So I also noted that. I was just like, oh, 13. Like they've moved past Elle. There's one's younger than Elle.
So,
but I know what you mean.
I think he's a number. He is he's in, maybe whether he's 12 or not. Okay, fair enough. I didn't remember that part, but good shout. But I think he has a power that he just can't necessarily tap. And I think there's a possibility that we see, because in the trailer, there's a whole training like montage, because of course it's an 80s show. So we had to have a training montage, obviously, where Elle's training. And I think that at some point, Elle and Will, or either Elle enters Will's mind or Will enters her mind, and they realize that they can do that because he's connected to the mind flare at some point. And I think that he has some type of ability. Maybe it's not offensive like Elle's is, where she can like blast people and stuff like that. Maybe he has, and I think this goes back to season 1, episode 1, when the kids are playing D&D, and Dustin's saying cast protection because he's Will the Wise. He's the wizard. He's a cleric. Cast protection. And then Lucas is like fireball, and he shoots the fireball and he rolls the dice and he ended up missing. He tells Mike, I got an 11. I didn't hit. We died. And Dustin's saying cast protection. And that is what, there's a spell in D&D as a cleric that is literally the protection spell. To cast like essentially like a light orb around your party to protect them from offensive things. You have Elle, who's your mage, she's your witch or your wizard, who's doing all the offensive spells, and you have Will, who's could be a cleric, who's casting protection and protecting all of this party. I think he's got protection in him. I don't know. I may just gone way too into the D&D, but
Well, if it's not Will, then who's going to die?
Mike.
Do you think one of the boys?
I'm saying Will. My vote is Will.
So while you were talking, I googled, and Dustin is online is the favorite to die. I think it's Mike.
I think that's why he's not going to die.
I think it's Mike.
I think it's Mike too.
I think we find out that Elle can't live in the world.
Yep.
She's too damaged. She's got too much going on. We see a lot of that in season 4, where she can't quite function in society because she's missed too much of it. So I think we find out. So I think if Mike then dies, it's not going to have the impact it would have had on Elle. Mm-hmm. Whether Elle survives and lives on, I don't know. But I think if it's one of the boys, it's Mike.
I agree.
I don't know.
I pick Mike because I think they're gonna figure out that the only way to stop the Upside Down from spreading into the real world is to have someone essentially be a gatekeeper. And the only person who can gatekeep is Elle. So Elle banishes herself to the Upside Down and she makes that sacrifice because Mike was already killed, and there's no reason for her to stay in that world.
There was a comment by one of the Duffer Brothers this week where he said, "This is our Return of the Jedi."
Mm-hmm.
No, I cannot see any redemption arc for Vecna. There is no redemption arc for Vecna. So what if the Upside Down was never meant to be the way that we envision it, and it's become that way because of Vecna? And what if the Mind Flayer is on the redemption arc, and the Mind Flayer ends up teaming up with him to take out Vecna, and when Vecna dies, the Upside Down suddenly becomes a much more calm and peaceful place.
Maybe it becomes a paradise. Maybe it becomes like Valhalla or something like that.
Maybe.
And fine, but then I want the never-ending story playing on.
Oh, of course, please.
So we were
I want
watching
Falcor coming into. I want Vecna, or I want the Mind Flayer riding Falcor, through.
So we were watching it last night or the night before, and Gemma's like, she's singing the song, and I was like, oh, such a great movie, and she goes, I've never seen it.
I've seen it once, and it makes me so upset.
I was like, you've never seen it?
You know why I can't watch that movie?
You cry at everything. But you definitely cry at that.
Yeah, you and what's his horse's name?
Atreyu.
No, Atreyu is not the horse's name. Atreyu is the character.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like Ajax or something like that. It's like I think it's Ajax. It's like a cleaning solution, not Anthrax.
Artax.
Artax. See, I was close though. Both were.
I think Anthrax.
Okay, Anthrax might be closer, but whatever.
Either way, I can't watch.
So, coming back to Stranger Things, I want to say how Nancy's done her whole Ripley arc. How Nancy starts off as this like sort of nerdish, bookish person, and then basically by season 3, every time there's a weapon to be used, Nancy is like, give me the gun. She's cocking the gun. She's loading the gun. She's just immediately, and you've seen the trailer.
She has one in her room, like she's got a revolver and something.
In the trailer though for season 5, it basically looks apocalyptic, and she's driving around looking like John Rambo with like the ammo belt over her shoulder, carrying a gun, and you're just going full Sarah Connor, full.
I think that's the connection there. I feel like when they developed that character or her arc, I think they're thinking Sarah Connor, because Sarah Connor, if you watch the first Terminator, she's the same thing. She's just like pretty girl going out clubbing and stuff like that, and then you see her in Terminator 2, and it's just a complete reversal where she's pretty much just a military nut. I mean, essentially.
And what I've loved rewatching this whole thing is going through it and just spotting things, 80s movie references, like when Murray Bauman is crawling through the air vent in a white vest, and you're just like, Die Hard. You've literally just given us Die Hard, right? The whole arc for season 3 is Red Dawn, the Russians secretly invading through Middle America.
And it's so good.
There's so many great moments in it, and then in season 4, having Robert Englund play Creel's old Creel, Victor Creel.
Yeah,
he was Freddy Krueger. And I mean, Vecna. Let's not lie. You look at Vecna's face and you think Freddy Krueger. It's got those elements. His big, long, creepy claws. It's got that Freddy Krueger feel to it. So to bring Robert Englund and have him or Englund is brilliant. I just thought absolutely amazing.
But even just to have Sean Astin in season 2, star of the Goonies. And those boys really are the Goonies.
They are. I mean, this is a modern retelling. This is a modern retelling in the time period that the Goonies took place in.
Sorry, that was the thing with Creel as well. Is the part where they're walking down the aisle they're walking down through the cells to see Creel, and you're just like, it's the exact same shot as Silence of the Lambs, and I think almost word for word the same conversation. Like, don't get closer than 5 feet to the bars. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's all the same warning. Stalin's given in Silence of the Lambs. There's just so much fun. They've had so much fun putting this together.
Yeah.
And the question is, where do we go?
Yeah, just cry.
Yeah.
The question I have for you.
We talk about how bad of parents the Wheelers are.
Can we
Karen's
talk about
not a bad parent. It's the dad.
All of the parents are.
Her kids have guns in their room and they have no idea.
Well, it starts before that. It starts in season 3. They're at the fair, and they haven't seen either of their kids for like 4 days.
For like 4 days, yeah.
Right. And they don't even think about it. She's just like, I bribed the guy with $5 so we could get the best seat in the house. It's like on the Ferris wheel. The dad, now, is he going to turn out to be some sort of action hero, some superhero in the last season?
I think he's going
to have something about him. He has been there as a vegetable throughout it all, and I think he has to step up at some point.
I think he's going to step up, but I think he's not going to. He's going to be killed like pretty quick. There's a scene where Karen and Holly are like hiding in the bathtub, and I think that they're hiding there, and where Ted's gonna like, I'm gonna stop this Demogorgon, and then he's just gonna be, kibble. He's gonna be, puppy chow for the Demogorgon.
What if everybody dies and Vecna wins?
There we go.
I mean, that's a hot take. I don't see them doing that.
Right at the end, you think Vecna wins, and suddenly an arrow gets shot at him, and John Rambo stands up. John Rambo stands up in the background, sliced alone, CGI'd back in age, and he stood there with his bow and arrow and his band around his head.
I mean, I think that would be a huge
Predator style.
I'm so nervous about this season, guys. Like, think about how hyped we all were for the final season of Game of Thrones.
I know.
And how let down we were. And
same formula as well. Less episodes.
So what I will say is I've just read something today that says HBO are going back and fixing season 8 of Game of Thrones.
How can they fix it? They already ruined who won the throne.
I mean, they can just re-edit the whole thing.
Yeah. Like Dany's descent into madness was
way
quick.
too fast.
Like she was always going to become crazy, but it was just
way too fast. She went from 0 to bona fide like in like 15 minutes,
like half an episode.
By the way, we've not mentioned it is Erica. How amazing is Erica?
Oh, she's great.
She's not dying.
There's no way she's dying. She's way too badass to die.
She says to Murray, he's like, "Who's the child?" And he's, "What do you see, you bald bastard?"
I love
her.
But she was also like a character that was that like blew up because of how well received she was.
Yeah.
Like in like season 2 when she's like just like giving her brother like the look because about how nerdy he is as a Ghostbuster. Like I don't think they were ever really going to use her.
I think what's interesting is every character they introduce, they've done a really good job of making warm and somebody you warm to, apart from Billy for obvious reasons. Yeah. They don't want you to warm to him, but everyone else. I mean, they bring Robin in immediately. You're like,
"Oh yeah, you can't not love that character."
Brings balance. She's so good. I mean, I get that she's Uma Thurman's daughter and Ethan Hawke's daughter, so she's amazing anyway. But I mean, she's such a good character, and then they bring in
Eddie
Argyle even.
Argyle as well.
Argyle, it just comes in and he's just so unaware. We literally just finished the episode where like comes running out and they're like, "Drive," and he's like, "Is there real blood, man?" And they're like, "Drive," and he's like, "Why is there a soldier?" "Drive." He's just such a brilliant character, and I mean everybody, Eddie,
even Susie as well, because you see her again in season 4.
Yeah,
she's barely on screen, but like immediately when she is, you're just immediately just endeared by, and that's got to be something about, obviously, of course, it's the writing, but it's also the actor bringing it to the screen.
What I will say is, one serious minor gripe is the post season 3, right? It shows you Lucas and Max, and they're all funny and giggly and laughing and in love, right?
Yes.
And then they sing the Never-Ending Story song to wind Dustin up, and then we skip forward a year, and Max is all depressed and.
I know. I had the same exact thought.
That's a huge shift in the character. Like she would surely be more upset. So
you went from joking around, and all of a sudden you're just really upset over Billy's death, and you can't sleep, and you're having nightmares. Like that was like a couple of weeks later, a couple of months later, maybe, when that scene happened when they're packing up the buyer's house.
Yes, it's 3 months later when they're packing up the buyer's house.
Right, so, and then it's another 3 months after that.
It's a year later.
Or a full year later, yeah.
Yeah, it's a full year. And I mean, I get it, there's some delayed trauma and stuff. It just seems that shift was needed.
That also was a little 0 to 60, I feel like. I feel like that also was a little jarring. I agree with you.
And maybe...
But that scene when they are packing up the buyer's house, like, that's such like an honest scene. Like, if you guys ever did that with your girlfriend, we would all be making the same
100%.
joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a pure like.
Oh no, my problem
snap.
isn't that scene. I think that's a phenomenal scene.
No, I know, but I love.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I love that scene for that
Yeah.
reason.
I literally watched Steph and I watched just that scene the other day on YouTube just because I wanted to see it again, just because it's so funny.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. The other 80s movie reference is Tremors.
Oh
The
yeah,
tentacles. There's so much
Yeah.
like Tremors. There's the part where they're hiding in is it the Gap? They go into the Gap where they're hiding. It's just
oh
before
yes.
Lucas manages to use his slingshot.
The
He
slingshot to
gets
get
his
the
one slingshot per season. But just that moment as well, I was just like, oh my god, Tremors. I was like, this is brilliant. I love what they're doing. So yeah.
No, I mean they've done some phenomenal things with that show, and I'm trying not to your point, Mal. I'm trying not to get myself too hyped up about it. I love the fact that they've brought in, obviously there's 80s nostalgia that you're throwing around all over the place. We're talking about it here, Ghostbusters, talking about, the movie that after when Robin and Steve are all hopped up on, Russian truth serum.
So
What movie
funny.
are they sitting in? They're sitting in Back to the Future, which came out in 1985. Like,
it's the conversation they have after it though as well. Like,
oh, it's phenomenal.
Why is it called Back to the Future?
Yeah, but because
Well,
he's trying to get back to the future. But like, why is Alex P. Keaton trying to hook up with his mom? Like, it's so like those things is just so brilliant.
It's
but
the
also
ability to shift between terrifying and humor.
in humor.
Like in one scene, they go from like hairs in the back of your neck standing up creepy to somebody delivering an amazing one-liner, and it doesn't feel out of place.
And it reminds me, and this is completely off the reservation a little bit, but it reminds me of how Scrubs is, because Scrubs can do the same exact thing, not so much with terror, but with you can be crying from laughter 1 second, and then the scene flips and you want to cry. Like, it's just how they paired that comedy and drama in Scrubs, which is coming back, by the way, I think in February. Revival. They do. I feel like this is a very similar job with Stranger Things. But again,
So, again, going through my notes, one other gripe I've got with it: why don't they all immediately start talking to each other? Because I mean, what happens in every season, right? I get it. The first season, they don't all know each other, right? Then season 2 rolls along, and they're like, you know what? Us 3, we're going to go over here because we've got a secret we're investigating. Like Hopper and that, they're off over here because they've got a secret they're investigating. Meanwhile, there's another group over here, and you're just like, guys, we've been through this already. Fucking pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and speak to each other. Find
see,
them.
I feel like season. I feel like that's season 5.
We can't get on the phone because there's no cell
They've
phone.
got radios.
Yeah, but the radios stop. They don't last that. They don't go that far. You know,
in the first 2 seasons, we're okay. We're all in Hawkins.
that's true. I mean, that is
season 3. Cerebro shows up, isn't it? No,
yeah, Cerebro. Yeah.
Season 3,
it is Cerebro season 3. Yeah.
So I mean, it was that thing where I was just like, and even in season 4, where they're like, we're going to go off to Alaska, and they're like, and we're going to go do, and you're just like, just fucking speak to each other.
Well,
all of you
that I understood, because obviously Murray and Joyce don't want to tell 11 that Hopper might be alive, because if it's wrong, then you're getting her hyped up for no reason. So like that part I get. And then the reason why they don't really communicate is because Elle beats up that girl with the skate, gets arrested, gets picked up by Dr. Owens, goes off and does her mind stuff with Brenner, and then you have the secret agent guys and everyone's shooting up, the Byers' new house, which, by the way, we just talk about major upgrade for Joyce Byers going from her house in Hawkins to California. Like, did you see the difference in that house?
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. She able to get a better house in, where's it?
Lenora, California, from Hawkins, Indiana. It makes absolutely no sense, whatever. But,
she sold a lot of encyclopedias. Right?
I guess. I don't know.
So much so that the Britannicas invited her to Alaska to go to a conference.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
It just, to me, you're like, all of these things are attached. Right? Yeah. I get what you're saying is we don't want to tell Elle, but all of these things are always attached. No, we've learned, right? We've all survived through this group trauma for 4 seasons. Just speak to each other. Just immediately contacting each other and being like, "Yo."
But that's how you get the drama. Yeah, that's how you get the drama, and then you have those little teams who are kind of off doing their own. Listen, I mean, not that I know really anything. I actually no, take this back. I know nothing about military logistics, but you don't.
You
I
don't?
don't. I know zero, as you can tell. I'm very, I know a lot of no. It's almost like they're sending little SEAL team units off. Like, okay, like we're gonna go up to Alaska and do this thing, or like we're gonna go fight the Demogorgon and we're gonna go deal with the Mind Flayer. It's like you sending like these little groups over to
But
certain
those
aspects.
SEAL teams all speak to each other, and it's all working towards one goal. And it's almost like they bump into each other in the last episode, and they go, "Oh shit, you knew about this? Oh, you
Yeah,
knew about this?" Like it's that moment. And the other thing I had seen was Will and Steve have never had a conversation. At no point in 4 seasons have Will and Steve had a conversation. I might be wrong, but I'd definitely seen that posted online somewhere today, and it was just
yeah.
like
No, I don't think they really have.
the
No,
paths have just never quite crossed, right? So on
no,
screen,
Maybe.
that's the same thing that people say about about Legolas and Frodo. The only time that they ever speak to each other is when Legolas at the beginning of the first movie says, "And you have my bow," and that's it. The entire time, two more movies happen, they never have another conversation again.
Matt wouldn't know. He's
Ryan
asleep.
was falling asleep.
sorry, I was getting bored of the
Um,
rings.
maybe this season something will happen and they'll all be like, all right, guys, let's rally the
Yeah,
troops.
That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking. I think they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to team up. You're gonna have Nancy arming Will and well, not Will, Jonathan and Steve to team up with Hopper and Joyce. Murray might be there, doing his
If Murray's
karate.
not, I'll be really disappointed.
Yeah,
Another great
another character
character.
that they brought in, obviously season 2, who just is endearing in a different way.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick, like, who is your favorite new character? Like, obviously we have this, like the stand, like the OG crew. So out of like your Eddie, your Robin, Bob Newby, aka Samwise Gamgee, um, throwing all with rings. Who is your favorite out of all of them?
It's tough.
I think mine's a tie
I think I have a tie.
between Robin and
Yeah,
Eddie.
I think I have a tie as well.
Okay, who's your tie?
Robin and Eddie, but I think Eddie gets the edge. The
Okay,
only reason
so
why, yeah, sorry.
go on. No, go on.
The only reason why I think Eddie gets the edge is because I think that he represents, not that Robin doesn't, but it does in a different way, but he represents a very misunderstood person that we probably all knew, like in high school and stuff like that, throughout our lives, of that person who's into that niche thing, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or whether it's something else, that was always misunderstood, and because of that, they were labeled as the freak. And like
I've
we
literally
all had that, huh?
got written on my notes here. Eddie doesn't make sense because nerds play D&D, not burnouts, right? But also Eddie can clearly no, now they do. You go back to the 80s, they were remember they were different crowds. Now we go to
Yeah, that's
societies.
true. I mean, no, there's some truth to that.
But Eddie is meant to be this burnout who can't focus on anything, but creates these amazing character campaigns and these amazing D&D campaigns, and you see that, and you're just like, so he's clearly very, very clever, but he's a
Yeah,
burnout.
he's not stupid. He's supposed to be like the Judd Nelson, like
No,
of
that is exactly who he is. He's
that's
Judd
exactly,
Nelson.
he's meant to be Judd Nelson who plays Dungeons and Dragons. That's
Yeah,
essentially what he is.
yeah.
And Robin does that in a slightly different way. Obviously, being LBGTQ and being in bands and 80s and whatever. I'm trying to be.
How good is that moment where Robin? I can't think of who it is speaking to, and it might be Eddie. It might be when she meets Eddie. It is when she meets Eddie, and she's like, "I'm Robin from the band."
Yeah.
She does this little motion. Me and Jen were just like, she just did that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Brilliant. No, okay. So my two that is tied between are Murray and Erica.
I mean, listen, you really can't go wrong here.
Because you can't have a TV show without a sassy black woman, right? And it just happens that this is a sassy black woman who's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
She is a
Not anymore.
phenomenal. She's a
Did you graduate
phenomenal
high
actress.
school?
She is so
so
good.
good. It's like
So good.
so good. And even like in season 4, where she's like, "You tell Lucas that I'm charging it. I've been covering him for 2 days, and he's it's $10 a day with a 7.99 markup or whatever. And if he stays away for 1 more week, he's buying me a Nintendo with the cunt.
Yeah.
Brilliant. She's such a good character. But yeah, no, you're right. Like, they're all amazing characters that are brought in.
You really can't go wrong. When they've brought in a new character that's had some staying power. I mean, obviously, Chrissy, she's only in it for the one episode, really. Obviously, a lot of the
Chrissy,
wake up, the whole the song.
Yeah.
But when they had a secondary character who's had staying power and has been there through most of the season, if not the entire thing, there's always been something endearing about that character. There's always been something that you just immediately grabbed you. Like, it didn't take probably any of us any time to get behind Robin or Eddie or Erica, but it's just so immediate. And whether that's credit to the actors, writers, or some combination of both, like, it's just, and that's why I think that this is we're not going to have the same disappointment that we had with the last season of Game of Thrones. I think that, and if for no other reason than the Duffer Brothers, I think, are smart enough to know we can't let that happen. They have
I'm just going to expect the best, hope for the best, but expect the worst. That my heart can't be broken again.
Fair enough.
So,
but I did fall in love with Robin the second she looked at Steve and goes, "Why are you friends with children?" Or so many children.
So many times. So good. I'm just having a look. How many years was there between that? Was it 2 years between the last two seasons of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, it was 2 years. I think it was 2 years. Or a year and a half. It was a good amount of time.
Yeah, it was 2 years. 2017 to 2019 it is start to finish. So, yeah. I mean, what's it been? 3 years? 4 years? 2022, 3 years.
No.
2022.
Has it been 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 years.
So, we can only hope. We can only hope. Well, no. By the time this episode comes out, we'll know how it started. And I mean, let's not lie, Game of Thrones didn't start on the best of notes.
It didn't start on a high note, no.
We were excited for it and we enjoyed it, but I mean, it didn't
start.
Could barely see it.
But also, we were getting one episode a week. So at least with this, we're getting a small chunk. We're getting 4 episodes. So at least we'll have a little bit of story.
More to judge on. Yeah.
More to chew on, at least. All right.
Okay. Well, this might well be a 2-parter by this point. So
it might be.
For the audience that's out there, you might have found that we dropped an episode on Wednesday and another on Thursday. Yeah, because if the Duffer Brothers can do it, so can we.
Can you just also include the Chrissy Wake Up song?
Yes. Chrissy Wake Up. Right here.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up! Hey, hello? Time to wake up, can you hear me? Wake up, Chrissy! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up!
Could rename it Max Wake Up, and every time Luch talks about Lord of the Rings, I could play it.
you know the song. You're a TikTok person.
I do. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. This was episode 17 of Not Quite Nerds, which means this episode is about the same age that the cast are meant to be in the new season of Stranger Things.
Maybe even a little older than that.
right, Mike. But, it was good. I enjoyed it. I always like to talk about nerdy things, and Stranger Things is definitely one of those things that ticks off so many nerdy boxes. Maybe that's why it was so successful. But hopefully by this point, we're all very excited after watching 4 episodes of Stranger Things, and we will let you know our thoughts next week.
There
you go. So, bye from all of us.
Bye.